name is
Yeah.
Arun Kumar Krishna. Recently, I've started a company and been the founder of AS13.ai. Previously, ex-CTO, ex-CISO, been in cybersecurity for 13 plus years. Um, my latest experience, picked up my DevOps skills. I can write Terraform, kind of cool, which I experienced. Plus, I understood this whole development cycle of, getting a feature, going on to the production and deploying, and the whole craziness that it carries, working for product companies. So that's where I started. It's been so long that I wanted to do something. Probably this is the time. My wife supported me a lot. My plan was, come back to Dubai or be in India. My wife said, "Hey, you've been talking about this shit for so long. Why don't you, take 1 or 2 years of time before
Yeah.
kids grow up fast? Try it out." So I went
Yeah.
full on this time. We have an office in HSR. I have almost 12, 13 people who are working. So
Ah,
it's like fully official. There is no like I have part time or I have full time, but I have
uh,
a team now, trying to build something. It's more about what I've seen in the industry for past 10 to 15 years. People sell to unaware people many things, right? Especially in cybersecurity, it's rampant. Like people sell
yeah.
unnecessary tools to customers like end to end. And customers are the ones who are struggling to get value and return on investment. Main problem area is this, right? If you need something, we'll do you something. If you don't need something, we will say we can't do it because it's useless. So that's the operating principle that I've started with. Let's hope. I don't know where I'll land after 1 or 2 years, but taken the jump, um, fly along for the next 1 or 2 years. I don't see any cups until major shifts happens, but that's what. And one of the angles that we started is, there is this lot of knowledge that has been accumulated with the people that I speak, and this podcast, starting it as Tech Leadership Club, you are like the first leadership club member, right? So you will get amazing perks. Probably if you want to test our product, feel free to. Right, when we launch, gather feedback. Also we're planning to have a network community roundtable. Now you're one. Once we reach 10 people, we can include all of them in a round table and see the discussion that it comes out. Because when people speak, there is this undocumented knowledge that overflows into the system, right? And
Yes.
personally, I have learned a lot from you in terms of the geek that you are in terms of the hardware. That's where, when we thought of starting, why don't, this guy, I still remember that you were able to get into DigiLocker, made a national news in newspapers
Yeah.
and televisions, but,
Yeah.
it was very underrated reporting at that time. But it's still, wherever the credit is due, it's due, right? But I think that was an incredible achievement. But thought of, you'd be my first guest, known you for quite a years now, and that's where we started this. Um, over to you, because today I saw your resume. By the way, I never saw your resume. Just went on to LinkedIn, right?
Okay.
Incredible journey, right? Developer, security specialist, pen tester, group manager. Like, how is it?
Now auditor, yeah. 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 So thank you for having me. So I guess this is my turn for the introduction then.
Yes.
So, yeah, so my name is Mohesh, and I'm with cybersecurity for almost like 14 years now. I started as a developer initially. I was into development. I didn't know such a career path existed at during that time when I passed out from the college. But with this uh, unexpected turn of events, like I got a chance to switch my career from developer to cybersecurity, and I ended up as being a pen tester for one of the big fours, and then I was into the client-facing team over there, and then from there I moved to the internal global security team, and from there I switched to the Dubai government, where I again continued my role as a pen tester, testing applications, infrastructure, etc. Now, eventually, the next career shift happened, and now I ended up as a security auditor now. So I'm into cybersecurity audits right now with DP World. So that's like a quick overview of what happened in my career. Yeah.
But see, how does that transition happen? Because I see a lot of developers still hard coding secret keys, but how did you transfer from becoming the developer and to taming those developers?
I think I always had this thing in me. Like, I never knew that there was like this career path for breaking into things. You know, that was like a career option itself. But the moment I saw this chance, I was like, yeah, this I can do this. Like, that's how it changed. Because I kind of was not happy with my developer life. For example, it was like always like some data will come and you process and you present. It's almost like the same all the time. So there was nothing, I mean, for the roles that I worked with, there was nothing much interesting happening there. I always wanted to build something that's like kind of unique, but I never got that chance with my actual job. So when this thing came up, I was like, okay, this is something that I can do, and this is quite challenging because the environment and the targets and everything will be different every time. So that's how it changed. But this whole idea of secure coding and all these kind of things, I kind of picked up one by one when I started actual hands-on work because when I joined this one, it was more like infrastructure level security, not into application level. That came maybe 1 or 2 years later down the line, and then it was like a slowly thing. Like, okay, I was like backtracking what I did as a developer. So I was like thinking like, oh, this is a bad piece of code that I might have written. You know, yeah, that sort of thing. Yeah,
Nice, nice. See, but nowadays I see a lot of people into full stack, MERN, all these crazy stacks that
yeah,
straight out of the gate people want to get into. But there is so much there to learn. I remember my initial days, it was just a web server that you learn. Application server is different, database server is different. There is a lot more gap in terms of academics and what an industry expectations, right?
yeah.
Like, did you had challenge when you started as a developer, like understanding these components? Like, because maximum as a student, what we were about is, at least what I learned is, it was just the IDE, write a program, probably C++ or something, compile it, or
Yeah.
something in Java, compile it, deploy it. That's it.
Yeah, I think probably Java was the most advanced thing that we learned
Yes.
from the college days. Yeah, but then reality was totally different. So it was always like trial and error, and like since you learn the very bad language, I would say like the very old languages that didn't have any kind of advanced features or protection mechanisms or any kind of example like C plus that you mentioned, like, and then coming to newer frameworks and everything was like much more easy because we knew the hard ones. So
Yeah.
that was, I think that helped. That kind of helped as a developer role. Yeah, yeah,
Cool, cool. But definitely an interesting, unexpected journey, I would call it, right?
yeah,
Starting
yeah,
from developer, landing on to, becoming
yeah.
what you are now. But um,
I still do the
help,
development part of it. Yeah,
it's
sometimes
kind
I
of,
build apps and stuff.
yeah, it's that crazy feeling, right? When you visit a
Yeah,
website, let me right click and inspect. What is this?
yeah,
You can't really turn it off. But
yeah,
yeah, but I wanted to ask you this, but at that time, I'm not sure what we were occupied with, but that never really happened. Probably I know this, I guess, but I remember that when the DigiLocker thing that you exposed the OTP bypass, right? Like
yeah.
how it happened, what it happened, but overall journey, how was it?
Yeah, so that actually happened as part of a campaign program that, yeah, I mean, I'm part of multiple security communities, and one of the community we were trying to have like an online meetup, sort of like an online security conference, because that time it was like COVID and like everyone wanted to have like everything online. So we thought of having like an online conference, and we kind of wanted to have some kind of news that will, advertise about the community and everything. So we were like casually having this discussion about, okay, there is this specific group of people or a couple of guys who were like targeting about on multiple Indian government operated applications and all, and they were writing all everything about that. Like, I think there was one called FSO Society or something like that. That was handled like that. So they were always coming up with flaws in these applications, and they were like getting a lot of news attention on that. So we thought like, okay, we should look into something like that. And then we were casually having this discussion, and someone brought up this DigiLocker thing, and I said like, okay, let's have a look at it, and then that's how it happened. So we were always doing mobile application testing during that time. You remember, right? So because we were having as part of the environment, there was mobile
Yeah.
application and testing. So I was kind of doing that day to day. So I saw this app and then started looking at it, then started looking at the internals, and then that's how it happened. Yeah, that was the whole story. Then the guys helped me write blogs and everything because I was just giving them screenshots and stuff, and people
Yeah.
reports and blog and everything. Yeah, so that's how it happened.
Nice, nice. But I remember you were covered in Malayalam news channel also, right? At that time,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
I remembered seeing that. Probably I don't remember the year. Probably 2020 or 2021 or
But
even before that.
I guess it was 2020. Yeah, yeah,
COVID. Who can forget?
yeah.
Um, but yeah, that was interesting. But what do you see? Like, see, we didn't catch up for quite a couple of years.
Mm.
How are you, seeing things change in cybersecurity?
Oh yeah, so law automation. So as you know, the AI thing is coming up.
There is that AI and there is that automation, right?
Yeah,
Now it's like all mixed up. AI
all mixed up,
workflows.
all mixed up.
Yeah. Yeah. Continue,
So
continue.
yeah, so I see a lot of automation things happening, like kind of like this infrastructure testing and all is kind of getting like completely automated. Even from the application, I know like companies who run full-fledged automated testing on while development itself. During the CI/CD pipeline itself, they have
Yeah.
like AI agents who come up with test cases, execute them, create reports. It's completely automated now. So I mean, the future is all about completely automating stuff. But there will be still people. That's what I think. Like, but the number of those
Yeah.
people will be much lesser. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
See, I think I had spoken or listened to one of the autonomous pen testing companies, right? So the guys were saying, infra, yes, there is a predictable way to assess an autonomously or automation based testing. You can just throw in
Mm,
A to Z all that known test and you wait for a feedback. And based
mm,
on that, they can iterate and find the crown jewels of the organization. What those guys said is, see, network, yes, but the application will always have that human curiosity or the touch that is necessary, right? Because
no.
applications are dynamic. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, like with these large language models and the capabilities that people are able to train these models on, they are able to some up to some level, they are able to understand the applications just by looking at it itself. So you see a form, you see an application, you see these buttons here and there. It knows how to interact with it. It knows how to manipulate it. Yeah. So it's slowly gaining, but I don't see any immediate tool that is able to do this as of now. But most of the things that people do right now is like using these agents. They come up with you know uh, some kind of agentic functionality to interact with applications, and then you define a set of test cases again with agents, and then you ask the agents to do testing based on these use cases or test cases, for example. So that part of thing is happening. Maybe there is still that opportunity of humans to do actual. manual testing, but that is much shorter right now. We don't have to do the conventional things
Yeah.
anymore. Like, yeah,
I think, yeah, that makes sense, right? If you look at WASP top 10 or CW25, that can be, trained by a model to look for it. See, I know you have been a hardware geek, right? I don't know how much you spend now, but you used to spend significant amount of your salary on buying things to test, right? You used to complain me that you don't have money to buy stuff because you want to test it out. But how do you think this fuzzing or finding these 0 days, do AIs presently capable of identifying these things?
they are capable of actually building the. They have the building blocks. They can get the building blocks ready for the first thing. So if you want to fuzz any application, for example, you can now just go to an LLM and then ask like, okay, build me like a testing suite for this, and it will make you that testing suite. Now you can optimize it. So it have all the tools that allow you to do the first thing. Probably if given enough time and resources, someone can come up with the mechanism to do that also completely autonomously. It's just
Hmm.
that I don't see any tool out there right now which does that. Doesn't mean that it cannot be done, but it can be done.
Because, see, I wanted to get your opinion because we don't speak too often, but AI changing things as we know. I was surprised that Google changed their search page to AI summary page, right?
Yeah,
Those guys were making hundreds of billions from that links advertised, but now
yeah,
they are able to trade it off with, giving that user AI summaries. But that is an amazing shift. I don't know how long it will sustain Google, but I wanted that, software side fuzzing and there is hardware side, the
mhm,
rich knowledge of hardware, right? Because it's
yeah.
easy to find bugs in codes, but how do you exploit it to trigger a hardware, right? Can
I
AI,
I mean,
bridge that gap?
I see the potential there, but I don't know if there is somebody who actually made it. That's my point in this. So I can see that, for example, like if I want to tamper with any kind of electronics right now, I just take a screenshot or a photo of the board and then upload to any LLM, and it will just analyze it based on what it knows. Most of the specification sheets are available online.
Yeah,
So it just correlates all that data and comes up with, okay, this is that, this is this. So it has the capability to understand things and you know think through it. But testing it from that perspective, I think it still needs some kind of working. But it is not impossible; it can be done. But how far you can take it up, the challenges would be like. Resource intensive task. It will be a major resource intensive task, and you have to come up with some kind of flexible testing framework for that. You know?
yeah. See, we were internally as a company, we are trying to build, all are talking about large language model, but most of the things that we are trying to look is can be done with SLM, they call it small language models. We were
Yeah.
trying to have a budget, the SLM with the data set that we had to train, it came around close to 1 million, right? For small language model. Then we
Yeah,
said,
yeah,
not now. We'll work it out with the wrappers and the RAG models, but we'll not go into that one because even training a small language model is going close to 1 million. I was surprised because I didn't expect it to be that much because we thought we were doing something small. But the moment that
no,
it came to model training, oh my God, we had to
yeah,
shelf it.
yes, that's still expensive, and then for
Yeah.
these kind of cases, you need that kind of effort and resources put into it. So at this point, I don't think we will have something like that, like an automated hardware testing suite. But it is possible. It will be coming.
Yeah, it's
Maybe
who is
somebody
going
has
to.
it. But maybe somebody has bits and pieces of it, and they're not sharing it with you. But as far as I know, like I've been searching for something like a automated, PCB building uh, platform. There is a couple of platforms out there where you can tell it, okay, I want this, and all. Then it will design a PCB, but it's still very technical. And I don't have an electronics background, so I don't know the very detailed intricacies of designing a PCB and all. So maybe after a few iterations, we'll have something like that. Once that comes up, it can be just reversed to test stuff. So that knowledge is always there, right? So I'm waiting for that to actually happen. Somebody needs to like, I can just go and say, I want these components built into a PCB, and they'll just make it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see, one of the things, right, when ChatGPT launched the $20 agent stuff, I was
Mhm.
surprised. People were saying, hey, I've given my credentials to agent mode of ChatGPT and I ask it stuff, it orders stuff. I was
Yeah.
like, where does it end? Now,
Yeah.
people have started, using it as a typical assistant, right? And
Yeah.
now the security implications are crazy. See, one of the thought process that I had is, can I reveal Sam Altman's number from ChatGPT?
Yeah, so there are like guardrails built around it. So
Yes,
they call this guardrails, which I mean, all this knowledge it accumulates, it has it somewhere, but
it
I
has.
also,
It
yeah,
has.
it has it, but I mean, I don't think it's like very granular. It's in the sense like, if you have like Sam Altman's number or something, I'm not sure if that is how
It
it
is.
stores the data, but it knows certain things.
It
And
does. It does.
yeah,
See, one of the things I was trying to trick it is,
yeah,
that substitutional cipher,
yeah,
right? I was asking, hey, let's have a code language. We'll use substitution cipher. One
yeah,
is A, two
yeah,
is B, three is
yeah,
C.
yeah,
It was amazing. It started, but still, it can't bypass its safety filters because the guys probably they would have expected this kind of stuff. But
yeah.
my worry is, see, all this breach data is everywhere, right?
Mm,
There is public data, there is breach data, there is misconfigured people exposing unnecessary data, right?
yeah,
But ChatGPT has an access to it. Somebody, if they can make it work, then it will be disaster. The amount of
yeah,
spam people might get it, right?
yeah. I think people are currently, I mean, bad guys are currently using LLMs to build stuff. You can always have these jailbroken models. There are models that are trained to be like without
Fraud
any kind of,
GPT.
yeah, yeah, something like that. And there are a couple of models that you can run on like a good
Local.
part locally, yeah. So you can basically run on laptops itself. I have
Yeah.
personally tried with a couple of them. Uh, for example, you can install something called LM Studio on Mac devices, for example,
Yeah.
and then just load models like
Llama.
Dolphin. Not Olama is like a tool for running. It's similar to Olama. There's like a LM Studio. It's like a Mac application. You can
Hmm.
download models and then load it locally. But I've seen like what happens to those models are like let's say it's a thinking model. It because of the limited hardware, it kind of hallucinates too much. Yeah, I mean it sometimes are very unreliable and all. But there are these models that will just comply to any of your requirements. You ask it to write malware, it will just write.
Yeah. See, and one of the things, since you mentioned that malware, right? I heard, I used to listen to podcasts, I still do, right?
Mm,
And I heard or I read about it. There was this adversaries, right? As people
mm,
in cybersecurity call. Those
mm,
guys were creating one-off accounts. One time they log into ChatGPT, they give a piece of the code and ask it to tune it. Then they ignore that account, another account, updated code, another piece of change. So these guys use 10 or 20 different accounts just to build a malware so that they
yeah.
bypass those safety filter, because when you are initially interacting, the chat GPT knows very less context of what you are trying to do.
Yes.
Right. So I was eye opening, like what extent these guys can go, just to trick the system.
Yeah, so because it's more like stateless system. It doesn't
Yes.
know, but I think maybe in the future, like we'll have it more advanced and it can foresee what is going to happen. I
Mm.
mean, it is possible, but I don't know when.
Cool, cool. But one of the things also I wanted to touch base, right? Do you got your 3D printer still up and running?
Of course, yes, I still have it like here. I don't know like if it can be like shown here. Like
I still
uh
remember the skull that
yeah,
you printed.
I
Oh
have it still on
wow.
the corner, yeah.
Oh, man. I
Yeah,
don't know for that rack how much you have spent, but I still remember those days when you were just
yeah,
buying stuff to print, learn, and do stuff.
yeah. Still I do that. So today, when we started this call, like you're asking me, right? So today I was trying to build something called, it's sort of like an open source project. It's called U Console or Micro Console. I don't know how you pronounce it. It's from a company called Clockwork Pi. So it's
Ah,
based on Raspberry Pi. But what they did is like they gave a frame to it, and like they have like full-fledged keypad and trackball and screen and everything. So you get like a full functional PC with around this much size, yeah, this size. Like, yeah.
nice.
So so I was trying to build it, but unfortunately I don't have one more component that I need, so I had to get it. So it's kind of stopped right now.
Mm.
Yeah. So I still do this.
So yeah, yeah. So that's I don't know. Can you ever leave that? Because I've seen that when I was working with you for 3 years, I saw it. You do it 3 or 4 years. Still
Mm.
now it's been probably 8 years since we met, but you still continue to do that. I think
Yeah.
you'll never going to let it rest, right?
No, that's something that keeps my brain ticking. Yeah.
And see, one of the things, right? I think you were mentioned in one of the DEF CON stories. What was that story about?
Mm, Defcon stories? I don't remember that.
Dr. Philip Polstra.
Ah, that one. Yeah. So that was actually, so we were having like a conference back in India, Kerala, and I met Dr. Philip Polstra in one of the sessions there, and he was building like a low power device that could be used for pen testing, basically. So he was running something called BeagleBone Black. It was like a device that you can run Kali Linux on it and then do full pen test suit on it. So I was parallelly at that time, I was trying to do kind of the same, but with something that you can buy for having this Android TVs, right? So you can plug it into your HDMI port and then you can basically have an Android on your TV. So that was very popular during that time. It was around 2013, I guess, around that time. And then I was trying to load Kali Linux onto that device. So I was discussing this with him, and then he mentioned about that in his one of his books, actually. So yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
Nice, nice. And
that
I
was
think,
that was
yeah.
long. Yeah,
Which one?
that was long back. It was like 2013, 2014, that time. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But still, if you see your reach, right, the things probably that would have taken you to DEF CON till Indian government sides,
Mm.
getting security improvements, I would say, not hacked, right? But
Yeah,
yeah, the influence as a person that you can make, I think it's only limited by you because you still tend to build stuff, try spending money on, in my opinion, unnecessary things, right? Buying hardware, trying to
yeah,
break it, trying to build stuff. But
yeah,
interesting because I do my stuff because I spent on PlayStation 5, right?
yeah,
Probably I have around 800 hours on PlayStation, which I'm not very proud of, right? But it kind of gets me going through, whatever that we go through in daily, just get 1 or 2 hours of that your Zen time, if you could call, kind of
exactly.
resets you from everything.
Yeah.
That's great. See, when you started pen testing, was kind of a nascent field, right? 2012, 2013, or 2015. How do you see? How do we see now? People getting onto pen testing. Hacking is cool. People get excited. How do you see? Because the people in India are considering cybersecurity as real, career paths. I've seen a
Mm.
couple of colleges introduce cybersecurity degrees, which is great, right? Because when we were in college, our degrees were plain old, what I call
Yeah,
vintage engineering,
yeah,
right?
yeah. True, true.
So now at least there is AI engineering,
Yeah.
bachelor in AI, bachelor in data science, bachelor in cybersecurity, kind of evolving fields, which is good. But what do you think for people getting into pen testing?
Yeah, so the scene completely changed right now because you have insane amount of resources, insane amount of platforms available. So right now, if you have to go and study a specific stream in pen testing itself, like so let's say web applications or mobile applications or whatever it is, you have like dedicated course contents, you have like all these labs and everything set up for you. So you have all kind of resources that was not available during the time when we
Oh,
started. Yeah. So if somebody wants to just get into it, they just need to have that passion and then that focus, and then just invest their time on like just testing out, trying out these things in these platforms. And it's very easy, and the course material or the content and everything is very nicely organized. So you just have to go through it, but then you have to have that focus. So many of the people who just come to security thinking like it's like a glamorous job or like a highly paid job, uh, but then they sometimes suffer because they don't have that always that intuitive mind to like learn new things. So it's always for people who wants to keep on learning new stuff. But then yeah, the whole thing about getting into cybersecurity is much more easier in the sense of learning everything, but getting a break into a job, it's kind of tough
yeah.
because the opportunities are like fluctuating here and there with a lot of automation. There is something going on with the market and all, but there is still, yeah, people who with the right skills, they always have that specific thing out there. Like, yeah, you can still
But
find it.
now, especially the kids who are entering Indian market, right?
Mm,
One, when we grown up, we didn't have YouTube basic stuff now, right?
mm,
Everybody are on YouTube. But now I see really some people using it to their utmost potential, right? Now they are on bug crowd. They have some validated bugs achieved, and they
mm.
do have, kind of Hall of Fame, identifying bugs on Twitter, Facebook, or any of these places. And I saw one of the kid, I think Azerbaijan government or something. He had a cross-site scripting on them, and he was listed on their page. Like
Yeah,
now, there is so much the kids can do, and some of the kids are actually doing it. It's kind of motivating at some point. Some point, it gets jealous because when we were growing up, we were using dial-up and those Nokia phones, right? We didn't had any of those stuff. But it's really amazing. But only time will tell in next 10 or 20 years whether all this was good or bad. But I see a couple of kids really, betting their potential and getting the most out of, the internet that they get.
yeah. I would say in the future, like in the very near future itself, like someone who is well versed with different AI tools will definitely steal the market because it's just about the future is all about like people who can master these AI tools. So if you know how to easily come up with something with the help of these tools, they can immediately establish themselves in the market. That's what is happening right now.
Yeah, and I see a couple of companies are embracing it, but most of them yet to see the revenue return on those. But again, that's probably we might not see their vision, but some of the companies are betting big.
Mm,
We have to just wait and see. But any of nowadays, it's a must-have skill. I know a couple of my company, right? I have employees who first thing that they do is open up ChatGPT and type the question, right?
yeah.
No questions asked. Then when they are stuck, they reach out and say, "Hey." go check the documentation, right? Because ChatGPT, there is that gap of data that has been ingested, right?
Yeah.
So the documentation is outdated, and sometimes ChatGPT behaves like the typical tech savvy guy who knows some stuff but not all,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Uh, and for me, it was saying, some of the commands that it says it doesn't exist in Splunk or Linux.
Yeah.
When I type man or Splunk documentation and feed it, oh, nice cache. Yes, that command do exist. I am like, guys, you are depending your whole resource because the traditional way of troubleshooting, people will
Yeah.
forget. You type
Yeah.
in that raw error in Google, find a Stack Overflow article, find a documentation, known issues, troubleshooting steps. People are forgetting. Now. New age employees, the first operating system, they call it work operating system, is ChatGPT, right?
Yeah.
I
Uh,
was hoping, Stack Overflow survives this whole mayhem because I learned many of the things from Stack Overflow.
yeah, yeah. It's scary that it's like it's all changed right now.
Yeah.
But I think it's more about like using multiple tools. That would be like something you call it as a skill that people will
Yes.
create. Yeah. You just know when to use a specific tool to solve something.
Yes.
You don't rely on one tool itself, like something like ChatGPT only, but then you have another thing that can solve it in a much better way. So you have to keep on experimenting. Yeah. So
I
so
think,
people who
yeah.
do that will survive. Yeah.
That's what I've seen in the last couple of years happen, right? ChatGPT more general model,
Yeah.
Anthropic it's more coding specific activities.
Yeah.
I saw a
Yeah.
couple of others also, Quen or something, which couple of my guys use for coding,
Yeah.
and the whole I don't know what happened. This R1 DeepSeek,
Uh,
right? That shaked up the market quite a bit, but kind of settled down now. People are
yeah.
back to normal, but
Yeah.
it's all wait and watch how it evolves. But still, people are figuring out in terms of what is the right application. I've known a couple of guys who are taken one thing and ran with it and succeeded, right? They're
Mhm.
making probably millions in revenue, but that is one angle. I think Cursor is one of the best example, right? They just stick
Mhm.
to coding
Yeah.
agent and they went to market. I think it was one of the fastest 100 million ARR company, right? So that's what I've seen. Just put all your eggs in one basket, run with it.
Yeah.
You have 100
Yeah.
million ARR in couple of years. But yeah,
Yeah. So I've tried Cursor, I have tried Climb, I've tried something called Windsurf, and so far I like Windsurf more. To what you
nice.
pay, like you get like huge amounts of return. I mean, like it's just very nominal amount. It's like $15 per month, but you get access to clouds on it for ChatGPT 5, DeepSeek versions, and Quen, and
Yeah.
a few other models also. So the trick about those IDs is like you have to know when to switch between different models. So if you're going to, um, I can give you one example that I have tried. Like, so what happened with me was like, okay, I tried building in a big app. So it started like a small idea, and then it started evolving to a bigger app, and then I ended up having some piece of code that was like 4,000, 5,000 lines long. And then all these agents, when they try to access it with Windsurf or Klein or whatever tool, it kept on failing because the number of lines are very high, and then you have the latency issues and all kind of tooling issues and all. So it cannot actually read the file properly. So at some point, I wanted to split this file into multiple things. I was
Mm,
trying it with multiple models. So I started talking with Claude Sonnet for example, and then with few prompts, it actually split the file into multiple things. Everything was very beautiful, but it didn't work.
that's the best part. Yeah.
Yeah, but then I had to switch it to ChatGPT 5 because it was more strategic thinking. So it created a strategy to split the files properly, and then finally that was successful in splitting the things. But if you ask it to do a very specific thing with something with coding, then maybe ChatGPT 5 will fail.
Hmm.
But Cloud Sonnet 4 will succeed with that. So you need to pick up that skill to, when
When
to
to
use
use
it.
what?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's the that's the thing.
But
So I guess in the future that will be the skill.
yeah, yeah, definitely. I have already seen that prompt engineering kind of came in as the next big thing, kind of settled down. I still see a
Mm,
couple of prompt engineers, kind of open positions floating
mm,
around LinkedIn.
mm.
I think that's still a skill because English, translating that your what you want into what that tool can understand, it's still a skill.
Still a
Previously it
skill.
was programming, now
Yeah.
it's plain English. Write as descriptive as possible because we were all used to Teams, emails.
Yeah.
It's pretty hard for me to sometimes write three, four lines, but I'm getting used to it sometimes to get works done because the more context that you give any of these tools, it performs better.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And what do you see like probably what happens next, right? We are at that stage, LLMs kind of getting saturated. Everybody knows ChatGPT or chatbots are the new normal, right?
Yeah.
What do you
So
think would be next?
I've been hearing about this in between the lines about the death of internet kind of thing. So yeah, so there is this conspiracy, or it's not a conspiracy theory, it's like a term that was coined somewhere back. And then the idea behind it is like right now our internet used to be a place where people actually interact, they communicate in social media, they do XYZ things and all. Now the bots are trying to take over that. Bots are making posts, bots are liking it. So
Ah,
uh,
yes.
yeah, so there is this obvious thing of called like the death of internet, where all these image generation models, for example, they just create insane amount of photos and pics and then video generation models, they generate videos. So all of the social media posts, everything is like just fabricated, the synthetic stuff basically. So
Yeah. True, true. I have seen this chatter in Reddit and Discord, right? Where now there are these social media investigators to see whether it's an AI generated stuff or regular user kind of stuff. Because one of the video I fell for is one giant dog is walking in a kitchen,
yeah,
and I thought, wow, man, is this a real dog? And I thought it was real. Then I read a comment saying, hey, look at that dog's shadow is not matching. I'm like,
yeah,
what the hell? These guys are become real pros in identifying. And there were
yeah,
some photographs, and the guys were saying, hey, there is six finger.
yeah.
What is this about? Right?
That was
So,
that was
yeah.
with the older models, they cannot properly generate fingers. So it's always like somehow disfigured. But
Yeah.
now the new models, the new image generation models are like crazy good. I think previously we had something called stable diffusion. I think that was one of the previous good models. But then something called Flex came in, and then now we have Google's Nano Banana. And
Mm,
now
yeah.
I think 2 days or 3 days ago there was something called Seed Dream that was developed by ByteDance from China, which is even better than Google's Nano Banana. So yeah, I mean it's crazy. A lot of
Yeah.
new things are coming up, and then they just start creating this synthetic stuff which will fill up the whole internet, and then internet might die.
Hey, one thing is on the internet, right? Now, my wife is a movie junkie, right? She wants to see the new latest visual wonders on movie. And I
Mm,
was reading couple of reviews and people are fighting, hey, this movie said there is no AI usage, but I see couple of AI shots in the movie. I'm like, "W- what are you guys discussing? Just movie, watch it, whether it's AI or people, right? You
yeah,
went for that visual wonder, just go and enjoy it. But now it's
yeah,
become a topic, right? Whether is this shot made by AI or is this
yeah,
shot made by humans? Like, why? But
yeah,
it's really amazing that 3 4 years back nobody would have
exactly.
heard about, AI is assisting these video creators or VFX guys to provide this level of details to shots, but now it's in live stream movies.
Yeah,
I don't know what to say, but we have just to wait and watch in next 3 to 5 years whether a
yeah.
complete movie.
Uh, I mean, I happened to end up in one of a group in WhatsApp actually. The group is kind of shut down right now, but it used to be very active. Maybe like until 6 months ago, it was very active. But then now, because of some problems, they had to shut down the group. But it's like a maybe like 2,000, 3,000 people in multiple WhatsApp groups. They are all like designers and the people who do graphics designing and stuff. They
Uh,
were they were so worried about AI, and then they started creating this group where they started learning AI.
wow.
People who understand these models and how to do prompting and all, they will teach these guys how to do prompting and how to run these models, how to access different online tools and all. So everyone was like sharing knowledge among that, and some of the use cases that I saw there are like insane. So
Mm.
there are like people who did like small photo shoots and image editing for smaller companies around Bangalore and all. It's more like small firms where they have like clothing brand and everything. So now the entire job is taken over by some guy who will just get one snap of your dress or something,
Yes.
and then you have one model completely AI generated, and you just apply the dress to that model, and then photo shoot is done.
Man, you don't believe the guy, one of the guy actually who I work with for my current company, right? He said,
Mhm.
"Sir, I have a lead. I need to see if we can do that." I asked, "What is the requirement?" So the guy runs a clothing shop, textile shop, right? Traditional Indian, you have a clothes shop. You go, sir, I need a kiosk, sir, where if the user walks in, they choose a dress, it should fit them. I'm
Yeah,
like, guys, what are you smoking? It's not that easy that we can implement. No, sir, I saw in airport, so I need it. I'm like, okay, we can try, but it requires certain amount of resources, especially financially. He said, it's okay, we can. Because
yeah,
we just want it because we during peak seasons and all, we can't find people
yeah,
to attend customers, and customers are leaving. If there is a kiosk, I'm willing to spend
yeah,
amazed. These guys are, traditional businessmen in India. They don't have blue collar jobs, but they do have their business, whatever they run. And the social media kind of uplifted these people to think, outside the box or give them ideas. And this
yeah,
guy, when I picked up the phone, he said, this is my requirement. I saw it in airport. I saw it in Singapore airport. I saw it in YouTube. I need something similar so that I don't have to lose customer because I can't attend them,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, I
Which is
mean,
a serious business need.
yeah,
But he was working with another company, but they couldn't meet his requirement. The way that they did was they had this medical scanning device to scan the body, right?
yeah,
To
yeah,
identify parameters, capture it, then apply the dress on top of it to
mm,
populate a visual, but that didn't fly for whatsoever
mm,
reason. He said they were not flexible and it didn't work out. But I said, why not? Let's give it a try, but not now. We have our own things to do. Probably 6 months or a year down the line, we can take it up because we are trying to discover ourselves as a company. But this is
yeah,
what the people's expectations are now.
yeah,
Just want the latest and greatest tech to
yeah,
their whatever the business that they are doing. I was surprised, man. Where do these guys able to envision such a things? But they are willing to put their money on and take that risk. Hey, I want it. I want that kiosk to be operational because that's when I can sell more. Because at present I need to rely on people, which during the peak season I can't. They are
yeah,
overloaded and I'm losing customers, which is a real business problem. But yeah, these are the areas that, as you mentioned, right? Some AI model which can custom fit the clothes and the dress and identify the sizes, how the look
yes,
and feel of it. It
yeah.
definitely solves that problem.
These kind of people basically like completely eliminated the need for photo shoots and
Yes.
models and everything. So that was like crazy. I heard the story and I was like completely amazed. And somebody made it. like practical and they were actually selling the services. I was like, I mean, this technology came in yesterday and it's already been solved.
Yeah. See,
Uh,
see,
oh,
one of the things I think you shared it, right? I said innovation, right? Ether, pothole detection.
oh
What do you
yeah,
think about it?
that's kind of cool. I mean, the caption that we gave there was actually a comment that I saw in the Instagram reel itself. Like, so we have like advanced tech to detect potholes, but we don't have the basic tech to,
To fix it.
fix the potholes. That's actually kind of exciting and sad at the same time.
Yeah. See, one of the in the same video when you shared, I saw was see the guy comes up with a really good plan. Hey, we can give you road quality checks.
Yeah.
Right? Seriously, I had that problem when my wife was pregnant and my kids were small, right? I need to
Mhm.
find a reliable route to take her to hospital or go to some place. I think
Yeah.
that was a real problem for people who can afford, right?
Yes.
To go on a longer drive just to avoid that your car fits in the road. Because in India, you don't know whatever the Google shows, where it's a two-wheeler road or a four-wheeler road. Once you
Yes.
enter, you will realize, oh my God, I can't even go through this one, right? But that is a real problem. Plus, one of the index which governments can also look at is, road quality index. How much are you spending on this infrastructure? If your road
Yes.
quality doesn't improve, like what is the return that you are getting out of spendings, whatever the crores of money? But
Yeah.
it was an interesting piece of innovation that I saw in quite a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, true. That's very very interesting technology actually. Yeah, it's nice to see that people are coming up with these kind of things,
See, in
which is very
India, that's the thing that I'm seeing. Previously, see, I was always interested to start companies, but I was
mm,
scared that I'll spoil somebody's future, right? Because I
yeah,
take them for 6 months, then after my plan didn't work out or my company didn't work out, I have to let them go. Their career
mm,
impacts. But
yeah,
now there is this new generation of people who are looking to take risk. Hey, I don't want big companies. It's too boring. I want
yeah,
something exciting. I want to
yeah,
learn it all. Not, if not only development, I need to learn DevOps. I need to learn testing. I need to learn content. I need to learn UX. People are just throwing themselves because some of the people are genuinely excited to learn the field. Hey, how an app is built. I just don't want to contribute to just one piece of a code, but I just want to know it all. So that's what gave me kind of boost to start my own company. Hey, my expectations are also clear. Hey guys, we're starting out. 6 months,
yeah,
1 year, 2 years down the line, we don't know what happens, but we do have a plan on what we want to do. They said, okay, why not? But that's where hey, people are taking risk. Why shouldn't I, right? Because most of the people I see ended up career badly joining startups. So I always had that doubt. Hey, should we do this or should I do this? Finally, when a couple of people came forward, you can start, we'll join. Then I said, why should I hold back now? Because
yeah,
people are trusting me, that I can guide them. And whatever the vision I had, people are trusting. So why shouldn't I? And they are willing to take that risk. Hey, it's okay. 2 years, I'll get an experience. I don't lose anything. Plus, I get salary, right?
yeah.
So people are really interested to learn it all, which in my case, when we joined, hey, if you get a project, great.
Great. Yeah,
Right?
true.
So it's really
So
interesting. That's
nice
what
to
I've
see
seen
you.
in
Yeah,
India. That's what is leading to innovation. The risk takers are becoming more and more.
one more. Yeah, yeah,
I was always thinking, hey, if you want to make $1 million, you question yourself: Are you putting that $1 million effort?
yeah,
Because it doesn't come without efforts, right? If you are buying let's say an iPhone, you buy it because you see the worth. Hey, its quality is smooth, its camera quality is better, right? So if somebody is buying your course, will they think it's worth?